know. What? All eyes on me. What you know about this club? All eyes on me when I walk in the bar. Check it. What? When I walk up in the club, I don't check my coat. I order a bottle of dime to wet my throat. We stay deep, so respect my folks. I find out firsthand how I feel when your neck get broke. Man, I came here to fuck with the hoes. One broad had a mini skirt with no panties, touching the toes. Feeling good cause my dope case got dismissed. Bought the bar, not a whole place popping crisp. This one hoe used to dance at the key. She was glancing at me, stripping from me with her pants to her knee. I heard she burning, I ain't about to chance it and see. If she asked to go, you know where my answer be. Hell no, you know the rules, win some, lose some. Plus it's too many bad babes to choose from. So I'ma just sit at my table, order some Quavo, and leave with a chick like J-Lo. Nigga, what? So the bouncers at the club don't frisk me. Steady popping bottles, all bub, no whiskey. I got a girl, I just wanna fuck, don't kiss me. Soon as I get my dick sucked, the history. I'm a boss, so the bouncers at the club don't frisk me. Steady popping bottles, all bub, no whiskey. I got a girl, I just wanna fuck, don't kiss me. Soon as I get my dick sucked, the history. Now we champagne guzzling, girls on the dance floor hustling. Couple drunk cats start tussling. That tough shit that get you through out quick. Seen some niggas coming in I had a shootout with. One peeked me, and then he started tapping his man. I'ma fuck around and have to go back to the can. Got a K plus a Mac in the van. A throwaway on my side, and Jay Nutty had a strap in his hand. I don't care about getting arrested, they didn't expect it. We deep, now they hitting the exit. They looked up, they would've got popped in the face. But it's too many undercover cops in the place. Besides that, everything was A-OK. We popped down, I don't fuck with J. Roger. All I'm into is thugging and skeezing, no hugging and squeezing. Why? Here's a couple of reasons. I'm a boss, so the bouncers at the club don't frisk me. Steady popping bottles, all bub, no whiskey. I got a girl, I just wanna fuck, don't kiss me. Soon as I get my dick sucked, the history. I'm a boss, so the bouncers at the club don't frisk me. Steady popping bottles, all bub, no whiskey. I got a girl, I just wanna fuck, don't kiss me. Soon as I get my dick sucked, the history. The place packed and I'm having a blast. See my cousin girl leaving with another nigga grabbing her ass. But I told him when he got with her, she a flat out freak. I heard last week T-Dot hit her, and these bras think I'ma commit. Hold on, got them so gone like that new Monica hit. All night I've been blazing and drinking. We floss so hard, even the married hoes waving and winking. It's almost 1:45. They out of dime PNX, so fuck it, I'ma order a brew. I drank that, and now we on our way out the bar. See them same niggas, so I grabbed the K out the car. They peeled out before I even got to dumping. On top of that, the whole parking lot was jumping. I'm a thug, I admit it, I can't change. That's just me, and next week we'll be doing the same thing. I'm a boss, so the bouncers at the club don't frisk me. Steady popping bottles, all bub, no whiskey. I got a girl, I just wanna fuck, don't kiss me. Soon as I get my dick sucked, the history. I'm a boss, so the bouncers at the club don't frisk me. Steady popping bottles, all bub, no whiskey. I got a girl, I just wanna fuck, don't kiss me. Soon as I get my dick sucked, the history.
Hi, bitch. Shout out to my nigga K-Free. You know what's crazy? Ain't shit free, tease. And that's some real shit, nigga. Southwest CNT. Keep my name out your mouth, you little hating ass lame. I'm taking heads off, I know they hating that aim. I'm full of nade off, I make the world full of flame. I'm the hottest thing smoking, fight for propane. Or crack cocaine, you need to pipe it down. I'm coming for the heads, but all I need is that crown. Like JG Wentworth, I need it right now. Follow this words like birds and they fly south. Call me king, cause you talking to your honor. So you should feel honored to kick knowledge with a scholar. Listen, boy, I swear, I'll be schooling these niggas. It's a goddamn shame how I'm doing these niggas. I'm in the career, shit, I ruin these niggas. You can hate all you want, I'm pursuing these figures. Mind on the money, never mind these niggas. I'm focused on the cash, I see the bigger picture. Bitch, cause this ain't the option. Shoot us on deck, nigga, we can get it poppin'. We can pop, 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 pop it. We can get it pop, 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 pop it. Yo, bitch on her dick, cause she know we get it poppin'. Yo, how the bottles poppin', the more she get it poppin'. We can get it pop, 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 pop it. We can get it pop, 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 pop it. We can get it poppin' like a 21 gun salute. Or somebody that's sneaking on you, plotting and creeping on you. Hoppin' like overrated that struck up a last on her. Hoppin' like after hours at 3 o'clock in the morning. These haters can't see me unless the glass is in 3D. I take my top off like my bitch doing that pussy leaking. And in the scene with my niggas and all of them drinking. So it's bottle popping, got hoes pulling up, jumping out, pussy popping. That's how my side is, and I'ma tell you one word. On the corner tryna roll, nobody know who you is. Shop hopping up on the first serve. Watering hot grease, a scared police, a blowing seasoning. The beef playing, I can season it. I'm in the booth and God bless me like I season it. And I'm a beast in it, talking about the game and the controllers, cause I ain't playing it. In the wind, cause loosen ain't the option. Shooters on deck, nigga, we can get it pop. We can get it pop, 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 pop it. We can get it pop, 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 pop it. Yo, bitch on her dick, cause she know we get it pop. Yo, how the bottles pop it, the more she get it pop. We can get it pop, 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 pop it. We can get it pop, 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 pop it. Bitch!
THSPC, man. RP my nigga Martin, man, on some real shit. On some real shit, man. RP my nigga Martin, man. Big Fat P, man. On some real shit.
You got on that interview, and you said that whole ass shit, bro.
Come on.
You know what you did, bro.
Now you just really fucked up. And
Listen, who do you think you talking to?
I ain't worried about no kid ill, that nigga calling 12. I ain't gotta do this shit for clout, my name ring bells. ARP around my chest strapped up like a seatbelt. Pull up to that podcast and we gon' pop the seats up. Somebody tell kid ill, this shit get way deeper than rap. Don't wanna bring me on the show, you know I'm coming in with straps. Just tell that nigga keep it cute, we beat him popped up where he at. We blew the motor out the striker doing donuts in the scat. They say if you from the streets, you can't beef with an interviewer. Beat and smack that nigga tongue out his mouth, ain't gotta shoot him. Fucked up when they hear this shit, they probably gon' say I'm a bully. Any nigga wanna stand up for him, tell him come and do it.
Throw a badge on his ass, Kid L play the fair. Have my mans up the strap on him, feel like I'm egg. Tryna gatekeep who nigga, who gave you the sex? Found his body on West Warren, nigga, where the fuck his head go? I ain't tryna throw the hands, I am not Primo Beast. Going link up with Lando, okay, fuck with me and King. They say L a real vulture, he be eating off the streets. Bitch, I'm really for the culture, you can't see me on the beat. We really stepping over here, nigga, we don't fold our legs up. Fuck it, drop another tape, go and turn my fans up. Kid L, he a joke, need to do some stand up. You wanna fuck with Cash, dog, need to get your bands up.
Hit his podcast, a nigga breaking down some coke lines. Oh, he posted up in Sterling, finna have my folks slime. Talking about them glasses buffs, hell no, you niggas lying. You'll get your head bust, keep dick sucking, baby trying. Me and Twan hit Miami, grab the Rolex, perfect time. I split the cup of my brother, but for you, I break down lines. Kid L, he ain't no ike, he a pig, that nigga swine. Oh, you tough on the net when I see your ass crying. Cross his leg, nigga, a fruitcake. Fucked up teeth in his mouth, he need toothpaste. 30 pack of perks, I just ate him cause my tooth fake. He said, Nero, can I get some real perks cause my blues fake?
They say killers never talk. They move in silence and violence. They do strange things to certain people for a price. Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk.
Won't hear a peep from me, I keep quiet. Row on the streets of the D, all I hear is sirens. And yep, I'm known as a G, not faced by violence. Killers don't speak, the killer code of silence. Mind torn and twisted, that's why I'm sort of wicked. They keep on telling me, Kenny, you were born to rip it. So I kick it and I keep it as ill as I can. I'm realer than man, such a hills they ran. Man, I've been had a plan, I'm always on my grind. You need to get it together, cause you running out of time. You say you all about it, in your rhymes you awful dog. But I know you fucking lie, cause killers don't talk.
Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk.
Just another bad soul, but you already knew that. Spitting death off like my KDT hat. Oh, you don't feel that? Say hello to my little friend. I'm cold-blooded till the fucking end. Put a banana in the AR, cause bitch, I'm losing it. Moving sick, killer with the mind of a lunatic, raised by the devil and moon shit. Wicked shit, ghetto boy. Do you know who you're fucking with? Bitches smoking dope. I came to deliver death to your doorstep. Floor sweat till you pour sweat. Never say a word to your bitch haters, non-believers. You know we gon' see your snitches later.
Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk.
No, the rapper did, cause he didn't know his place. Filled the fucker full of lead, bloody body, it was great. Never heard him spit, but swear to God, the dudes are fake. You can say that bullshit, but fucking now it's too late. These killers don't talk, but we get wicked on the mic. Cap pillars in the dark that don't split her with a pipe. Thug is more than just a name, dog. This a way of life. Chopping bodies ain't the game, cause I get handy with a knife. Shout out Andy Price, that's my killer Southwest. And we do this for the dead, all our brothers lay to rest. Cause these killers don't talk, real G's move in silence. I'm a killer in a rage, all I know is fucking violence.
Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk, don't talk. Killers don't talk.
I had to sit back and ask myself, am I going to take my career into my own hands? And
What up, yo? Detroit and Flint Town. Coming through this motherfucker. Hallucinate. Yeah, with my killers. Through the projects. And I'm skating on day.
Better be careful where you at, and which way you wear your hat. What colors you got on, cause your ass will get clapped. Bam, back to the old me, rapping with the OGs. Even when I'm asleep, bitches got my strap on me. In my blade too, you gon' play who? You gon' fade who? Bitch, I will shake you, erase you from existence. If you don't keep your distance, I kick it, y'all can wicked, get marked off the hit list. Always on some bitch shit, keep it to yourself, man. I'm self-made, self-paid, hell I let it rain. We can tell you plain, we can tell you ain't what you say you are. You ain't hard, you a fake, yeah. Break them off, break them down, this time needs an enema. It's time to get them up, wet them up, red them more. I'm fed up on the whack rappers, they liars. I'm a villain, I'm a gangster, I'm a rider.
I'm a villain, a beast, a savage, a bando. Black roach, bandana, and a flannel. I'm a G, ain't no love, ain't no peace. I'm a monster in the streets and a monster on the beat. I'm a villain, a beast, a savage, a bando. Black roach, bandana, and a flannel. I'm a G, ain't no love, ain't no peace. I'm a monster in the streets and a monster on the beat.
Project nigga bustin', ain't no time for no discussion. About to drop this deadly weapon, Satan too, like I'm from Russia. Talking crazy, we gon' rush you, beat you down, cause you a sucker. You ain't from around my block, so ho, you ain't shit but a customer. Dirty hoes are dusting ya, the rivers where they dumping ya. Stay project boy for life, so ain't nobody that can touch us.
What up, dog? Park here.
In the parking lot, a target roll up on the blowers, brands and leave them dripping on the carpet. Victim to aliens apartment, we gon' finish what we started. Ask this lady where the fuck she tell me in the glove compartment of the drop top bins. Then take all of the ends. I'm gon' tell you all you want. If you just please, just let me live. I got kids that got a future. Told her shut up before I shoot you. Ain't no women or no kids dying. This is what I do. I can offer you a job. Project One roll like the mob with KDT and Ghetto E. We underground and never stop.
I'm a villain, a beast, a savage, a bando. Black roach, bandana, and a flannel. I'm a G, ain't no love, ain't no peace. I'm a monster in the streets and a monster on the beat. I'm a villain, a beast, a savage, a bando. Black roach, bandana, and a flannel. I'm a G, ain't no love, ain't no peace. I'm a monster in the streets and a monster on the beat.
The butcher called me up and told me come with a track. So I'm sliding through the D like I don't know how to act. Who the fuck want what with them boys that do it? Just load them Dracos and them choppers and let's get straight to it. We bout to bang in this bitch like the blood and the Crips. And got some hoes on deck, so don't even trip. In my Snoop Doggy Dog voice, I make that pussy moist and leave your hoe staring in the ghetto. She that made her choice, and she chose to get banged. Hang with dating thugs and ooh kang. Told the girl stay in her lane. Now she missing, that's a goddamn shame. Who the fuck you
What
talking
up,
to?
though,
Who the
Christopher
fuck
George?
you
Glad you
provoking?
make it, homie.
I'm in the butcher back cave smoking and fiending for a motherfucking killing. I'm a savage, I'm a G, I'm a motherfucking villain.
I'm a villain, a beast, a savage, a vandal. Black roach, bandana, and a flannel. I'm a G, ain't no love, ain't no peace. I'm a monster in the streets and a monster on the beat. I'm a villain, a beast, a savage, a vandal. Black roach, bandana, and a flannel. I'm a G, ain't no love, ain't no peace. I'm a monster in the streets and a monster on the beat.
Once again in this bitch, splitting the D came to play. Playing for keeps when we creep with that motherfucking AK. Popping the phone, letting them know who the fuck be on the streets. Project Born, KDT, and the dating fake. Real OGs been banging since the 90s. Ain't shit that I ain't seen. Another murder gang related motherfuck the police. One love, killer, deal, death do us part. That gangsta shit, motherfucker, coming straight from the heart. There's nowhere to run, grab your guns and step into the front line. Where only you find a few my kind, busting with the tech knives. Come and test your strength, cause only a strong will survive. We're soldiers from the ghetto, side by side as we strive. Murdering motherfuckers, making money while we mad. Mind ain't straight, body and soul while we strap. Mr. Fucking Fearless, J Gutta, it's a rap. Fuck with me, I'm a G, day and night, pass me the gat.
I'm a villain, a beast, a savage, a vandal. Black roach, bandana, and a flannel. I'm a G, ain't no love, ain't no peace. I'm a monster in the streets and a monster on the beat. I'm a villain, a beast, a savage, a vandal. Black roach, bandana, and a flannel. I'm a G, ain't no love, ain't no peace. I'm a monster in the streets and a monster on the beat.
I'm a G. And I ain't talking about no gang shit. Struck with a tech nine and I'm about to do some strange shit. You bitches better be careful who you motherfucking hang with. Everybody's not your friend in this shit when they get dangerous. Sustain this. How you think we done for 20-something years? Dayton, family, and PJP put in work like Richard Gere. T is up next and they real life ready. Running around y'all hood with a mic and a machete. It means they ready to kill it. Make you bitch niggas feel it. When we all get together and put it down, we the realest. I found a monster on these beats since my born dead days. Always out to make a killing, yeah, them born dead way. And these pigs out here keep squirming, cause I'ma pick your ass off like I'm Richard Sherman. So if you see me on your motherfucking block, you bitches better please me, cause I'm coming with some killers, yeah, some motherfucking G.
What up, though? Welcome to the Hood Smoker Podcast, the hottest #1 podcast based out of Detroit, Michigan. And now, with your hosts, J Gutta, Brother King X, Blatonio Todd, and the rest of the Hood Smoker Squad. We don't do no Vlad stuff. We don't do no Adam stuff. We keep packing in the legends, respect them, and keep adding up. So pack a blunt or two, maybe grab a brew and a snack for you, and leave behind your attitude and get ready as we snap into the Hood Smoker Podcast.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Welcome to the Hood Smoker Podcast.
What up?
I'm Jay Gutta, 1/3 of the Hood Smokers Podcast. We got Blatonio Todd in the building. Tonight's a special night. We got movie producer. We got movie director, writer. We got he's from heard he's in Cali via Tucson, Arizona. What up, though, Blatonio? Your microphone ain't on. And we got Ben in the building. Salute, Ben. Your mic's off too. Y'all gotta turn your mics on. Blatonio, your mic's not working, homie. Your mic is not on, homie. There now. Hey, you just muted your mic, but I got you turned up. Hold on, let me turn our guest all the way up, because that's who you really want to hear. No, I don't know what's going on with the sound. Y'all can hear me, right? Everybody saying, yo, yo, Blatonio, yo, yo, this and that. They can hear us, but they can't hear y'all. What's going on with the sound? I can't hear y'all neither. It's saying that, it's showing me that your cams are on, but not the microphones. Hold on. Can y'all hear each other? I don't know what's going on there. Hold on, let me try something. Yo, yo, yo. Microphone check, 1 2 1 2. Never had this happen before. Hold on, let me blow our guest up on here big on the screen though. But yeah, no, it's showing that your guys' mics ain't even on there. Yeah, Christopher Jordan said, what up, though, Blatonio? What up, though, Ben? Fucking Rich Martinez in the building, Parkhead in the building. Now that y'all, yeah, they can't hear you, they said. So we can't hear y'all. I don't know why the microphones ain't working. Hold on. Yeah, it's not on this end. Everything's saying it's on this end. I don't know what's going on. Hold on, I'm gonna disable you and then I'm gonna unmute you and see if that works. Yeah, no, I can't hear y'all. What the? Maybe we need to go out and come back in or something. Y'all want to try that? Tap out, tap in. All right, let's try that. Bear with us, y'all. This live. Bear with us. We trying to get everything together, y'all. We live. This is live. Live on YouTube. Yeah, we see y'all. Still no microphone. Let me just Southwest word in here to fix this. Hold on. I'm gonna shit, let me see. What can I play real quick? I'll play one of your promos, Blatonio, while I get a word in here to see why this isn't working. Because I don't know why your microphones ain't showing up on there. Hold on. 1 second, man. This is the first time this happened, though. Yeah, what up, though, y'all? What up, though, in the chat? We gonna get it right. Don't worry about it. We got this. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. We got Ben Lopez in the building, y'all. We're gonna let you listen to this by Blatonio.
No, I would absolutely kill you if you ever did something like that.
You
right?
could never kill me.
Oh, I bet you I could.
Yeah, from the Potcast, all the way to your lame ass Latin pain. It's been long overdue, so we come
We got some retards on the whole set. You need to get your dome checked. Shoulders toto, Latin pain, that toto. Oh shit. Probably always on a bike because his ride got repoed by the tow truck. Probably really lost a night to the guys in prison get stole fucked. You ain't doing a damn thing. Bitch, get off of my plantain. I'm a bad motherfucker. If you wanna rumble, somebody come get they drunken over. They chased him out the Bronx down to Texas where he has to stay. We rolling Latin pain blood, so now his name's El Passed Away. El Passed Away, that lame walking, pull up while he chain smoking. Then leave his brains open. People that ain't joking. You must be in a joker mood if you ever think we pay for a view. You're damaged, so emotional. Now go and cry an ocean, fool. Attention is all this guy wanted. Probably want to get fucked in his eye socket. He ain't putting no money in my pocket, but if you want to put 5 on it, little bitch. Remember when you called Panda Shop and Cuban Link about to end it all? Then why don't you just get a ball so you can overdose on the fentanyl? We finna get your dogs, me or Miles, send them to Ohio. You and I know what they eat up there to meet survival. With a side of peak of the guile, pitbull souffle on the dish. But why this motherfucker sound like when you order Wu-Tang off a wish? Talk your little shit, smoke your cigarette within the safety of the internet. Already know if I ever met your dumb ignorant ass to be different. Like that ain't what I meant be. Thought that we was friends, G. Pull my gun out, make you piss your pants to see it's empty. Fucking square. Get out of here. We like Jesto.
I'm gonna end. I know y'all can't hear, or y'all can hear me, Blatonio and Ben, but y'all can't. But they can't hear you, and we can't hear you. What up, though? Jimmy, I see you, homie. What up, though? Everybody in the chat. But yeah, we gonna just end the Discord, but it's gonna still be live, and then we gonna start it back and go back on the Discord. So and start the general chat. All right, because we was hitting everything, we can't figure it out. We're gonna get it though. We'll get it right, y'all. We're gonna play one more thing from Blatonio, and then we'll have it pop, and the show will be starting in the next couple minutes. All right, we'll put it. Jay Gutta, therapist. Let's go. Pain is excruciating, meds, I'm hallucinating. Fans ain't hesitating, I'm just waiting, contemplating. Plotting on my next move, block high, gotta choose. Life or death, who's blasting next? Life control, set to cruise. Win or lose, not backing down. 2020, who's jacking now? Tag babies, done gone crazy. Worlds full of packing clowns. I'm just glad it happened now. I'm a lot of smack 'em round. Gotta keep the wolves fed, we eating good, capping round. We eating good, fucking bitch ass virus and we been massa. So homie, come and try us. We eating good, we got them hits right beside us. Come and bring them fucking rice. Bet they won't bring it where I is. We eating good, and all these politicians lies. We gon' set they shit on fire, cause we sick and fucking tired. We eating good, all my killers off a high 24/7 like my time's up, dates expire. I'm eating good, like I just hit the lotto and popped another bottle. Pour some out for my copper who ain't here drinking beer, can't feel an inch in your name. Big cash, the blast, we lost the real one. Damn, my cousin John, why'd you even shoot to the east side on Halloween night? Should've known it'd be your last ride, and you died. My soul just can't come to grips. You took my gramps in 014, and I still feel that shit. Fly high, D-book, we gotta make it out the hood. Grandmas, when you get there, let them know we eating good. We eating good. Fucking bitch ass virus and we been massa. So homie, come and try us. We eating good, we got them hits right beside us. Come and bring them fucking rice. Bet they won't bring it where I is. We eating good, and all these politicians lie.
I'm still on.
I think they still working on the sound check and stuff. So.
Sound check, yeah, okay. This might help my shoulder, man. Who knows? Go faster.
Yep. Oh, yeah. My brother, we got sound check.
We got contact.
Yep, we got contact. Yeah, no fucking take your time, man. Yeah, we got 40
That was off
yeah.
from the gutter. I had to play a little bit of my music. I was just looking for something to waste some time real quick while we got this shit right. But we got this motherfucker going and shit. We live. That's the first time we ever had technical difficulties like that and shit.
Yeah.
Couldn't even.
It's the energy.
The guest forgets to put the mic on, but usually, at least but both of these mics weren't working on this.
Salute.
I mean, it hasn't been the same since. I mean, yeah, like Ben getting in the religious scene and no, just fucking.
You feel the power.
Yeah, I mean, ever since that reunion, man. You're gonna probably have to think about some. There's gonna be a little bit of shit talking, yes, and if it seems like we're kind of shit talking each other, yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead?
We know each other.
We got. I'll let Blatonio go ahead and introduce you since you guys know each other. I'm not even gonna say no more. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. Much love.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you met my co-host. That's Jay Gutta, straight out of Detroit, Michigan. We're waiting on a third. That's 2/3 right now. We got BrotherkingX, who will be tapping in at some point. And then of course you've known me for many years, like too many to. Yeah. We reconnected recently. Went to high school reunion. So that's how far it goes back, man. Just like even shit. I don't know. We started doing everything for music. So I was gonna let you, like you said it a little earlier. I don't know who got to catch wind of that. I'd like to say, to point out about you is like I thought you was gonna be the next Cesar Chavez. I mean, still could have been, anything like that. Definitely had politics, music. We clicked on. We had bands together. We did a lot of stints in band of a lot of different things from, like the culture club, like with, Chicana Sport La Casa and stuff, so we can cover a lot of different things on that. And then most recently, from what I've learned over the years is, my brother right here my brother Ben Lopez has been doing a lot of things with movies and stuff. California and all. So we got a lot to cover and stuff. Anybody got questions, keep them going. And we'll try and get you all. Right now, this is Brother King X. This is now you got all three hosts right here. Myself, you know me, Jay Gutta. This is Brother King X who just tapped in. So
we was running a little late, BKX. We was having
yeah.
technical difficulties.
Yeah, what up, though? What up, though, homie?
What up?
What up, though? But we got Ben Lopez in the building, and as you know, he knows Blatonio. But so I have some hip hop questions, but let's get into that a little bit later and shit that I heard about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I was just gonna let you go ahead and take over right there. I was just pretty much saying my history of how long I've known you, brother. And if you want to continue for anybody who might have missed it, if it wasn't heard, what you've been doing, and how we know each other. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, this friendship relationship started back in the day, just us playing drums and brass instruments, just like the roots of it, just jamming and being a drummer that really want to learn the foundations of jazz, hip hop, every little aspect of rhythm and blues, all of that stuff. And I kept hearing this other trumpet coming from across the room because back in the day, we had different practice rooms. I heard Blatonio. Well, no pants. I know you got dual. I got to get used to this, like multiple personalities, multiple personas, which is good.
Back then it was Mike.
Back then it was Mike. I don't even say that name anymore. I don't recognize Mike anymore. No, I'm just joking. He's always been super talented, and so we just started jamming, and then we discovered our love for hip hop. And one of the things that really made it click was that he taught me how to flow, because I was hearing his cadence of flowing. I always wanted to be able to do it, but he taught me how to do it while I was playing the drums at the same time. And so that was cool because, before it was just like doing it with our hands, messing around on the desk, but later on having a whole trap kit and being able to hear that. And then he would add all these accents with music. And then eventually we migrated to messing around with very simple instruments, a 4-track mixer, and then just making music all together. And there was so many influences, including reggae, a lot of, even Spanish music, believe it or not. This is the era where that stuff was like, early in the roots, starting out, Spanish hip hop. And this is way before reggaeton became a thing, and before Residente, and even some of the most incredible lyricists in the game and the Spanish side. And I wanted to dominate that because I never heard people that looked like me or was part of my culture or my background doing that. And so thanks to Mike, he opened that whole dimension for me. And then obviously he had different personas. I don't know if you ever talked about Kevin Wasi and all these other personas that he had. And he opened up the world.
Yeah, so I guess actually funny you said that. Is like, yeah, I guess the personalities always was kind of a thing.
Yep.
No, so there you guys have it. Yeah, but yeah.
So he used to smoke everybody. I mean, here's the thing about Mike. He was fearless. There was like, I know you heard this before because obviously Detroit, 8 Mile, the movie, everything that you've seen about, Eminem and all that. But to me, I don't want to be cheesy or anything, but to me, he was my Eminem. He was that guy for me.
Right.
Because he destroyed motherfuckers when it came to, like, there was no hip hop scene in Tucson, but whatever there was, he just laid everybody. Nobody, he was like little skinny guy, and you probably lift him up with your hand, right? But here's the thing: everybody that looked at him up and down, they'd be like, "You ain't shit. You don't got bars. You can't do anything in this space." And then he would just destroy him. They would underestimate him, and he would just like flow. And he freestyled like nobody I knew. And almost everybody that took him on ended up becoming friends with him, unless they were like sore losers. They couldn't lose a rap battle. And so he probably won every single. I would say, bro, you had 100% record. You destroyed every single MC that you took on back in the day, and that was even more of a thing. So that was like the beginning. So Mike, Kevin Wasi and all the other personas. And here's the other thing, and obviously you already know this about him: the sense of humor. He didn't give a fuck. The sense of humor came through, and which a lot of people didn't get. A lot of people wanted to beat him up. They wanted to take him on, but he would destroy him with a sense of humor because they didn't know how to attack him. They didn't know how to, put him down or anything. He would just like come back. He was like one of the king of comebacks over there. So I was the opposite. I was more of a scrapper. I was used to solving shit, with my fist. But I realized that you could do it with music and you could do it with lyrics and with the whole combination of everything we put together. So think about it. Years later, we collaborated on a bunch of stuff, including performances and recordings and everything. We didn't see each other for years. And so what you're seeing right now is us being reunited after not seeing each other. Right. Being that crew that hung together and made music together. So this is it. You guys you get to witness live.
That's dope. Yeah. So you never told us that, Blato. You was the high school freestyle battle champion and shit. You was the Eminem of Tucson and shit. The Slim Shady of Tucson.
Like it's funny you said that, and like you kind of did wake me up to it about. I guess that personalities thing was always there. No, so like for real, this is Ben's show again, but of course it's like we all have to share, part of our past. Know that.
I gotta ask Ben what he thought when he first seen No Pants.
On like the comedy because I just never thought, the different thing. Yeah, I'm a small dude and stuff, and it was my way of like I could deal with the bullies and shit like that and all, and they wouldn't fuck with me after a while, but I never thought about it that way, and I thank you for that because yeah. Because you'd have my back at any heartbeat and stuff like that, and I'd be like, nah, it's funny, man, just don't worry about it. You'd be ready to like freaking lay them out, like no, this motherfucker trying to talk some shit, and then I'd freaking, so I get it. Yeah. Looking back at it, it's like
Another cool innovation thing is that he would be able to do bars in English and I would do it in Spanish, and we'd go back to back, and we always learned the connective tissue of that bridge or whatever that was. I would know his last bars before mine would come in, and he knew my Spanish parts, which was also amazing. Right. He's probably bilingual by now, but at this point, like that was like the beginnings of like learning how to speak Spanish. We're now 20% of the population Latinos, and there's basically think of like 60 million strong and counting. There's probably like 10 million that being undercounted. So we're a presence, we're a force in this country, and so in our community, Lato, he was one of the first ones to see and recognize that we were a force to be reckoned with, and he admitted us into that space. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew if Blatonio told you about where I'm from, the part of Detroit, Southwest Detroit. They actually call it Mexican town, and I took him to the restaurants down there. He like ordered food fluently Spanish. He was talking to the waitress and everybody fluently and shit. Fucking Spanish. Had me and Mad Butcher. Shout out Mad Butcher. Fucked up and shit like that. Yeah. Blato, like he said he felt like he was at home and shit.
Yeah. Actually, when we were at the reunion, I was explaining about Mexican town, and like Ben, I was like, that's like if you ever go to Detroit, you'll feel like you never left Tucson, in Mexican town.
The thing about it is they call it Mexican town, but it's actually a mixture of everybody. You got the
it's Latino
Cubans,
town. Is really what it is.
Whites, blacks. You got everybody. Like it's Arabs. We got a big Arab population in Southwest Detroit, all through Detroit, Dearborn. But but it's a mixture. But they call it Mexican town in that area. It's all like authentic Mexican food, like straight from Mexico. The people come like Blatonio scene and shit. It's like that area, Southwest. The stores, everything's in Spanish. Supermercados, everything. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's no.
But I was gonna say also like where you had your stint with like politics and stuff though. Ben right here, he had a stint with politics. If you want to go into that a little bit, because like when we did music, a lot of that, what was it? Chicanos por la Casa, and you had a lot of different things. You included me into the Cinco de Mayo celebration and stuff, where people were like, "Oh, what why you had me involved?" But we had this back and forth, and we wrapped up there for. If you want to go into
For sure. Yeah, I can go into that. This is an era where Latinos didn't know how powerful they could be. You know, like the civil rights movement always came together with Black and Brown, you know, doing really amazing work in the trenches, not just in registering people to vote, but also trying to make sure that people were fighting for each other's rights. In high school back in that era, you know, it was kind of like the era where people kind of like felt like maybe Latinos didn't have that strength yet. Maybe they just didn't want to cause trouble. Maybe they, you know, it was a little bit docile community for a little bit, even though there was a very active, you know, civil rights component and orgs and different nonprofits out there doing the work. I think I was a sophomore in high school where I got recruited into one of the first groups that wanted to retake and reclaim the roots, especially thinking of all this different terminology, right? So you probably might know what a Mexican is or Mexican American is. But what a lot of people didn't understand is that many of us have indigenous blood, right? And so it gives us a deeper connection to the land. And so that really counteracted the message that a lot of people were telling us, especially racist America, you know, especially in Southern Arizona, they would tell us, you don't belong here. You're not from here. And I was constantly correcting them on things like, you don't pronounce it, you know, Tucson, it's Tucson, because the original root word of that word is Chuxon. Like, so I was correcting them. And they were like, what do you think it's called? Arizona and Nuevo Mexico and New Mexico. And I was like, yo, people, you know, you're like, what land you're sitting on? And so it started, once you start reclaiming your roots, it allows you to feel more and more proud and you start organizing more of you people. So during that era, I wanted to organize my fellow students, especially Latinos, because they didn't really get along. Like there was a component of Mexican Americans that saw the new Mexicans arriving. They felt that they were kind of like not seeing eye to eye, and they would always start fights. And so I was always the one in the middle trying to bring them together. So what happens when you're the referee? Sometimes you get hit by both sides. But I didn't mind taking that you know, emissary role. I didn't mind being that mediator because I was able to bring everybody together. And I also, remember, this is back in the day that you still got punished for speaking Spanish. You still got hit. You still got, you know, sent to the detention room. They still treat you like shit. Like literally, they will call you every slur word imaginable if you happen to declare how much proud you were of your culture. So because of that, we decided to start all these assemblies, and we started reclaiming that. And so that's when I started bringing in, because you know, hip hop is always like part of protest. It's part of, you know, resistance movement. It allows you to like stand up for your rights. And so it was very appropriate to marry that movement. And by the way, I didn't always get welcomed by hip hop, because even on the Mexican and the Chicano side, they were looking at me like, are you trying to be Black? Are you trying to take someone else's culture? And I'm like, actually, if you look at the roots of hip hop, Latinos have always been there. Look at all the original B-boys, original people in hip hop and graffiti and all those movements. There's always been Latinos in those movements. Just because they happen to be, a lot of them Afro-Latino, right? They happen to also be Black. We share that culture, and we share that, you know, that movement. And so that's why it was very powerful to use it. But my own people would also kind of try to check me on that, be like, you should be playing norteño.
You have a lot more issues there.
Yeah, they were like, you shouldn't be talking like using hip hop, like, and I was like, no, I'm gonna use it. And then many of them told me there's no future in hip hop and Spanish and with Latinos. There's no future in that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. So anyway, so that was the beginning of that. And that's why we brought in Blatonio into it.
Man, yeah. I mean, because he had me going for assemblies and stuff. I'm like, are you sure this is okay for me to, you know, come in? You know, like, you know, I still remember that one rhyme, you know, like we're working back and forth, you translating it. Las cosas de decirte lo que voy a hacerte querer, decirte, si meterte, you know, yo quiero vivir, decir, message we have, we want you to hear. Yo, Miguelito. You remember? So
a lot of those rhymes, they were first, we did, you know, protests, right? We did reclaiming our roots. Then later on, we started adding the humor, but it was later. First, we were a little serious because we needed to make sure we showed up. And so that's why you were part of that assembly, because I was like, let me bring in the unity. That was the name of the song, Unity, bringing in the Black, brown, and white people like coming together with hip hop. And obviously all my peers were looking at me weird because they're like, we're dancing cumbia, we're dancing folklorico, we're doing all this stuff, and you're like, what is this? They didn't get it in the beginning because they were like in the beginning, like, what the hell? But after a while, we won them over because they knew that it was real. Plus, I'm glad that we learned how to flow, with your help. So you were definitely instrumental in that.
Well, I'm glad you talked me out of like one thing now this many years later, which I know my two co-hosts are gonna laugh about it, but I'm glad you talked me out of. If you remember what I kind of said, remember that song Unity came out that was Africa Bambaataa and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm glad you kind of talked me out of going that route because like right now it's not a very good thing with Africa Bambaataa with things have been coming up. Peace, unity, because I was kind of wanted, but then I'm glad, if you remember that song, it's like they did that.
Yeah, for sure. Our influences were very, very wide. We grabbed from everywhere. Every masters of hip hop, but we also dug deep into jazz and everything else. Nothing was a shame. Like, remember, I was part of. I didn't really get into drama, but by the way, that came later, right? But there was the drama department, and they asked me to come in to play music for the musicals there. I didn't grow up listening to Guys and Dolls in Oklahoma and all this shit. I had no idea. And they were like, hey, if you can play jazz, if you can play all this other stuff, here's the drumsticks, take over, and maybe you can play along. And so I learned all that stuff. So all of that influenced me later, especially with a sense of humor. I was able to like, okay, I get it. I get what they're trying to do. So it gave me a lot more foundation. But when it came to, like, for example, my influences, Big Daddy Kane. Think about like what Big Daddy Kane would sound in Spanish, right? And later on, you have someone like Residente, right, which was part of Calle 13, right? There was no lyricism. You mostly had very mechanical type of hip hop people in Spanish. It was like kind of like Melly Mel, like you are going to, it was kind of like, but in Spanish, and so we had a lot of what do you want to call it? I don't want to disrespect the early Spanish, producers and everything, but it was very fundamental. And very quickly, you had to go from zero to how do you have the Big Daddy Kane aspect of hip hop and Spanish. And that's where, again, I'm going to give credit to Blato because we learned how to do speed rap. Like how do you do that? Una vez, otra vez en inglés, te lo digo en español, asesor, yo me voy para slang, me tardo o si me retraso, no te enojes demasiado, estorbente en vaso, si te digo lo contrario, póyeme lazo, man, hago el arte, me llama Picasso, te rapeo de mi mundo, and so one of the things that he did was like train yourself at 100 beats per minute and go to 120 and see how can you get to 130, 140 beats per minute and still be able to do that. Now, the cool thing about Blatonio is like he knew how to do it halftime because he was using less lyrics. I was doing the stupid way. I had way too many bars and I didn't know how to do it in halftime. Southern hip hop came into the scene that taught us how to do that a little bit better. But I was trying to pack like bars and bars and bars into this halftime type of beat. So that was the thing that really allowed me to evolve into as an artist into that. So again, politics came first, but later on the party, the girls, all the other stuff that maybe we'll skip over, but it was really, really fun times, man. And so it's not just nostalgia for having nostalgia, but we actually respected the genre and we respected the art form of hip hop.
Yeah. Because I mean, you got me with like okay, we've been trying to get Kid Frost on, like with that, and you remember Ya Estuvo and all that, like Mellow Mayonnaise.
To me, Cypress Hill was the one that took it. Cypress Hill knew how to do it right. To me, that was to me the foundational elements of that, the way you like, because we discussed English and Spanish, but how do you do it bilingual? How do you do it where you're just dropping different words? And it changed everything.
Yeah, that track bilingual, funky bilingual.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then slowing it down. But it was helpful to do it at 120 beats per minute and then slowing it down where you're just jamming, and being able to play at the same time. So again, that was the foundations. But later on, playing in that laboratory, like literally, like we had a tech lab where I got to give credit to that professor, that teacher that wrote a lot of grants for us to have access to computers. By the way, this guy was not getting paid. Yeah, Reynolds, yeah. This man didn't get extra money for writing grants to get us equipment. He did it because he wanted to do it. So that's why sometimes it's really good to have white allies, right? because you don't just, like if someone wants to help you, are you going to turn down that help? And this man, he will literally bring in thousands of dollars worth of equipment, like robotics, keyboards, cameras. And that was the beginning of me going into media, because I started playing with a camera, because we started shooting music videos. Think of like the beginnings of like the Beastie Boys, messing around with skateboards and other, we didn't have professional equipment. We're just making do with SBHS. I don't know if you guys remember that camera, those big ass tapes. We were doing that. And so it was the beginning of like documentary filmmaking, messing around with things. I think I captured some of the first performances that I did with Blatonio over here. And so to me, that also cemented and put the early seeds for wanting to make movies, but I wasn't sure what that was yet. I'll cover that a little bit later if you want to hear about it.
Of course. No, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was trying to build up. I actually, was like, how it led up to it, because I think they have to know that first, like, yeah. Because I knew you was getting into media communications, like for sure, that's why I had that say. I was like, yeah, because you had that lab. We would do that. And then he started getting more into the videos and it, like, yeah, I graduated by then and, yeah, life happens. Yeah.
So at the reunion though, real quick, was that the first time you seen No Pants?
Yes, that blew me fucking away, because I was like, who is this guy? Well, first of all, I did see, I think, a photo. I don't know if he did share his profile, and I was like, yo, and that he warned me ahead of time. Hey, there might be a persona that might show up. I'm like, okay. But the first guy that spotted it was another friend. I was like, hey man, he's wearing like this thing on his head. I'm like, what? And then I saw, and we immediately took a photo though. We went back and I started joking with him because, I'm a joker and I roast him. I love roasting Mike from back in the day, because Mike was always like, he was a heartbreaker.
Oh man, no, man.
When someone takes a hit for the team, for the universe.
Listen to me in code real quick. Listen to me in code. You were always on the beach collecting shells that were jewels in the end.
You know what? What I love that we have this term called we call them a comal. A comal is the thing that keeps things warm. So we called we call Blato the comal. In Spanish, he's the one that keeps the gorditos warm. If you get that code, you know what I'm talking about. That's the nickname here.
You were always that extra salsa though.
You did that.
Yeah,
it was all day, every day. It was fun, man. It was fun.
Yeah.
So that was the reunion, catching up with No Pants, man. This guy that talks major shit to everybody, and consequences, be damned.
I know. Yeah, no, I knew that would come back, because speaking of which, there's a, if we want to get into it before we go into your serious matter of what you're doing. There's a documentary coming up called Surviving Ben Lopez.
Sure.
We had Tarak on. He's definitely a victim. I've been a victim. Do you have anything to say on that? As far as like all of us being victimized by.
No comment on this one. On this one, I'm not sure what part of the documentary. I don't know if I signed off on it yet.
Because yeah, we're going out there, gonna do like a whole thing for Cinco de Mayo, and you're like, take that. I'm like, no, I'm not about taking that.
Blatonio showed up all in white. I think he was expecting a different type of party at this reunion. I'm like, I'm sorry, No Pants. This is not that type of party. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing all white? What's happening?
Yeah, I see.
He had a drinking hand.
Said Humpty Hump.
Humpty Hump. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's definitely was like a element, I would say. Yeah.
I guess that's a good. I can ask this question that I told Christopher Jordan. I asked him when we had a chance. Since we're talking about No Pants, he wanted to know how you felt about mumble rap, Ben Lopez.
Is this for Blatt or for me?
Just in general. What he means is in general, like like in
hip hop has to stay alive. Like somehow, there's always you need experimentation. That's the way I feel about it, because if you give it a shot in the arm and there's movements and somebody wants to I'm gonna use the example of acting. There was this guy that used to mumble all the time. So for a long time, acting was really boring in the movies, right? Well, not boring, but like it was kind of, all right, we're going to go to the beginning. Sorry, lesson. Here we go. We're going into history. Radio. For a long time, radio was really boring and used to be, remember the announcements and the newscasts and everything? And today we found out in November 21st, we got attacked by blah. Why did they use that tone whenever they spoke on radio or on TV and later on in the movies? Because that was the frequency that could actually transfer over the airwaves during that time. And so you had to speak with a very neutral tone by actually going to that sound of it. And then eventually a lot of people made fun of that tone because it became the standard, whatever, accent, right? Why are we talking like this? Hey, listen, I'm going to shoot you in the face if you don't do this. That was the tone. And so eventually acting got completely disrupted by this movement, okay, in New York with improv, and we're talking about the most important, Stella Adler, and the guy was Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando used to mumble in his acting. He knew that if he mumbled and if he's kind of like he would not even look at the character. Sometimes he would look aside and he'd be like saying something, whisper something. That got people's attention when they were watching him on stage, because he started this out on theater. They saw him on stage and he would mumble. People would lean closer. They were like, "What the fuck is he saying? What is this guy doing?" And then he will fucking explode, especially on screen. And he will give you that performance, and especially Streetcar Named Desired and all this shit, right? And so I look at that as being movements in hip hop where what can you do to get people to listen, to lean in, to kind of like go into something, to be part of something special, of a movement, whether it becomes boring or repetitive or a gimmick or whatever, that's something else. Game recognizes game. If you're a hip hop artist, or if you're a lyricist, or if you're a performer, after a while, you don't want to be replaced. But if it's hokey or lame or stupid, then people don't want to hear about it. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the generation, and it depends on your perspective. That's the way I see it. I hope I answered that question for them. That's my opinion on it. Sometimes
like that.
There you go.
Yeah, like for real. No. I think that was like actually I wasn't expecting that. That's what y'all think, because that's all I'm gonna say. No, that was
No, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, and you use that like the movies. You compared it to the Marlon Brando.
Like it almost sounds like how I was kind of like fabricating like No Pants. When I thought about No Pants putting it together, was just kind of like, okay, there's something that obviously this type of rap is grabbing the attention of, and us older heads are not getting, and that's kind of what I did when I was putting that character together.
Let's not forget we had trash music back in the days too. We had garbage music too.
Like even screaming.
Yeah, because of
Dude, I just saw a movie called Kneecap. I don't know if you guys are going to look it up. Look up the trailer, Kneecap. Okay. It's a movie about rappers from Ireland rapping Gaelic. Are you fucking kidding me? Gaelic, bro. Why are doing rapping Gaelic? Going back to the roots. By the way, I'll go back into it, but quick segue. You know why they call Irish people, right? They call them white Mexicans, right? Because we have a lot of things in common. Look up St. Patrick's Battalion. There's a lot of commonalities, the Catholic religion, all of that stuff, right? But look up Kneecap, because they were trying to reclaim this language that was suppressed by the UK, by the main government. So this guy decided, F you, as a form of resistance, let me use Gaelic, let me use this hip-hop movement, right? You might say, well, it's not appropriating a different music. No, at this point, we're way beyond that. The genie's out of the box, whatever you want to call it, it's out. And so now they're using hip-hop, and they're using it to remain Gaelic out of Ireland. And this guy's created this movement, whether you like it or not. You see the guys on the cover, they're wearing the colors of Ireland with the ski mask and all of that. And these guys are down. And I, by the way, I got to meet him in LA, the rap band, the rap group, because they made a movie about it. They got money from the government, because they actually helped to change the law to make sure they're allowed to use Gaelic. It's no longer forbidden by the government. You are able to use it to reclaim your language. So why not? So as a tool of empowerment or for fun, that's the thing about hip hop, right? It can be that. It can be empowerment, but it also could be let's party, let's get turned up, whatever you want to call it, like whatever you want to use it for. hip hop can be there for you, and you use it and you express it. That's the form. That's the purpose of art. It could be as think of Andy Warhol, right? Andy Warhol, when he disrupted art, people were bored by like, why is he doing prints instead of paintings? Why is he doing a Brillo box? Why is that fucking thing a piece of art? Well, he wanted to disrupt it. And now you see like Banksy and you see all this other graffiti artists leaning on stuff that you would think it's boring or mundane, but they're turning into something else. So that's the purpose of art. You got to be able to grab it and disfigure it and remake it and remix it and do whatever fuck you want with it and let an audience find it. You know, the long tail of your audience, or it's going to find you. So there you go. So to me, unless it's a movement. By the way, in hip hop you have braggadocio. You're always going to claim to be the best. That's the whole point. That's why you had an amazing battle between Kendrick and then basically taking all Toronto and those crews, because they wanted to say, hey, I am the fucking best, and let the people decide. And that happened. Now, if you want to have some sort of movement between mumble rap and something else, let the people decide. Let the people decide. But I'm always going to be like, hey, if you decide to be that single guy, the guy who collects that record, that whatever, the single pressing, I don't know, maybe two or three copies of that pressing for, let's say, no pants, joke, rap, and you want to be listening to that, great. Then fucking that's your guy. Follow him, support him, or hate him, because guess what? That's the whole point of that character, I think. He loves that hate. He loves that shit. So give it to him.
Yeah, I think you got him nailed.
Yeah. It sounds like you know both people. It sounds like you know the guy who it sounds like you know Lopez pretty well, and
the purist and the jester. That's right.
Yeah. No, I appreciate.
By the way, it's hard to pull off, but you did it.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
I appreciate that, man.
I don't know if he told you, but he did a Craig Mack impersonation and just put a picture of Craig Mack, and people were swearing it was AI. Everybody was putting it in the comments saying, so we had to go live, and he had to show everybody that it wasn't AI, it was Blatonio doing it.
Yeah.
Blatonio.
Like you want to blame, you ain't gonna be around next year.
And you know what's funny about that, dude, is I know you're pulling back, because you're not showing everybody your full capabilities as our MC when you're doing the no pants. You're pulling back on it. That's what we call it, underplaying it. You're underplaying it, but that's what the character is doing. So why not? Fuck it.
I can't.
It's Little Dicky. I don't know how many people are fans of Little Dicky, but he started as a joke rap. He got a show on Hulu. I don't know if it's the last season or not, and he turned into but secretly, that guy, Little Dicky, that rapper, he really wants to be an MC, and he has the braggadocio. He thinks he's going to be the number one in his genre, but at the end of the day, guess what? He's getting paid. He's feeding his family. He's doing whatever he needs to do, and he has an audience. Whether you like his audience or not, that's something else. Now, some people might say that's fucking lame as shit. I get it, but I know what you're trying to do, homie. At the end of the day.
I appreciate that, man. No, I mean, now here's the perfect timing where I'm thinking, where I gotta go. Where did the movies come in? Like right. I'm not even changing the subject. I'm just saying where we've been all over the place, like for real.
Sure.
Because like with that, I want everybody to notice, like they've seen. Obviously, they're hearing like part of what you're saying about me, but I want to say that about going back to you, because this is your going for Ben Lopez. Where did the movies okay?
See,
doing stuff in Reynolds' office, like doing stuff with like the videos, like experiment with that. So obviously something grew from that, though, right? I mean,
well, it was actually before that. So my dad, he was, by the way, he passed away recently. So it's been a thing of always trying to honor him and his memory, right? So the thing about my dad is that even though he was working class, he only had 5th grade education, right? He was very successful entrepreneur in Mexico, but after the 85 earthquake, everything was destroyed. Everything that he was working on was destroyed. That's why, by the way, a lot of people are wondering, like, why do people end up in the country? Because economics at the end of the day, and we're going to do the job that nobody else wants to do. So we ended up in the U.S. But my father, when he was, coming up as a young man, the movies captured his imagination. That was his babysitter. he was able to go with his sisters that were like essentially preteens, and they didn't know where to take the little brother because either they could go with my grandma at a fruit stand and, you know, like have him sleep under the stand, or they could take him to the movies and watch entire movies, and then, you know, spend the entire day there, right? Well, the same thing happened to me. My refuge became the movie theater in different states, first in Mexico, but then later on in Arizona. I used to, what they call it, theater hop. So you basically would go and pay for one ticket, or sometimes your friend would open the door in the back. And so I remember being part of like the first multiplexes in Tucson. And so we were able to watch 4 different movies. And then sometimes if we liked it, we would watch it again, like Predator or, you know, Platoon or something like that. So a lot of war movies during that era. It was crazy. So that captured my imagination. So I had this memory of like sitting in that theater and looking at these characters. Like, I think a lot of us wanted to be like Luke Skywalker or whatever growing up as little kids, and, you know, obviously with the cartoons and then with the lightsabers and all that shit, everybody wanted to be that. But to me, I felt like how culture defining are movies that it could actually wanted you to change your trajectory. So for a long time, after I saw a lot of war movies, I thought I was actually, before getting into politics, I thought I was going to be joining the armed forces. The first thing I wanted to be was a cadet, or I wanted to be a soldier, right? And so that was so how is strong and impressionable, you know, like this, the impact of a culture defining aspect of movies. And so that was always a thing for me. However, almost everybody told me that shit was impossible. My counselors told me it was impossible. My peers told me it was impossible. Even some of my family, extended family members, they told me, you know what? Stop dreaming of the movies. It's not a real career. You know, Hollywood is so far away. Good luck with it. I don't think it's going to happen. And even music, they told me it was impossible. Many of them dissuaded me. They told me, you know, you should go into norteño is the thing. Maybe go into norteño. I didn't like norteño back in the day, you know. So I was like, it's different now with this new movement. You know, if we have time, we'll cover it. But it wasn't until later that I was like, man, I can't believe everybody dissuaded me for the careers and the things that I wanted to pursue. And so after a while, I gave up on it. You could say the first movement, I give up on it. I was like, forget it. This whole thing was a toy. The camera, I give it back to the school. The instruments. Actually, I did keep the keyboard. You know, I was still able to make beats and all that. I by the way, I remember going to remember the dump in Tucson where they, you know, the garbage dump. I went to drop something off, like for my dad, like some bed that we wanted to get rid of. But then I saw some drum set, like a beat up drum set that was there. I rescued it. Back in the day, they allow you to clean it up and rescue it, and I took it back and I recycled it, and I kept playing on that drum set for a long time. So that was the only thing that I was allowed to have for a while. But anyway, fast forward to me harboring this. It felt weird, man. It felt weird wanting to make movies in Tucson where, if you remember, Tucson is mostly known for Westerns, right? Shoot 'em up. Think about who the good guys and who the bad guys are in a Western, right? What do I look like?
I would say my 2 co-hosts right here, when you say that, yeah, that's got to be, you know, it's Western, right?
So, right, exactly. So it was Westerns. So a lot of Westerns were shot into it. We're talking about hundreds of Westerns. But think about the characters that are on screen. Who were the good guys and the bad guys? And what do I look like?
Cowboys versus the Indians, you know what I'm saying?
Indians or Mexicans, remember?
Or Mexicans, yeah.
So what am I?
Yeah, the brown versus
very rare. Someone like me could be a hero in those movies, unless it was a revenge movie. And if it was like a Mexican type, it had to be played by usually a white actor or someone like Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson, you know, his ethnicity, you know, it's definitely like obscure, especially it was obscure for such a long time, right? You know, it wasn't until later that people find out a little bit more about his roots. So the interesting thing about me is that by the time I wanted to make my own movies in Tucson, they were like, we're done. Even Westerns are done here. And so this British director showed up in Tucson. He had done a few movies in the UK, and he was looking for PAs. Well, a PA is essentially a production assistant, and basically you're the bitch. You got to go in and then pick up whatever food, or you got to be the guy that's like doing the cleanup and the shitty work all the time. And many times you don't get paid. And if you get paid, you get paid with a meal or something, a cold meal. And so I volunteered for this guy, and he told me, "Hey,
But they think
we
working for
don't."
peanuts in a way, like working
Yeah, for peanuts. Oh yeah, it was very exploitative. However, I did like the guy. The filmmaker was cool. And he basically told me, hey, if you want to volunteer, I would appreciate it. By the way, I don't have any money. I think my producer ran away with the majority of the money. I guess he got scammed, but he still needed to deliver this movie. And he's like, we're gonna shoot all over the desert. It's kind of like a Western, but modern. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's do this. I knew the theories by this point. I had already read a lot of books about it. I was already deep into my poli-sci degree at this point. I was trying to finish my degree, but I still wanted to volunteer for these movies shooting in Tucson that were independents. This is the height of the independent movement, right? And so this British director asked me, hey, can you help me with a schedule? Can you help me with this? Basically, because of my political connections in that region, I could get you anything you wanted, almost anything. Not, there's limits, obviously. But he would be like, can you get me 50 extras for this scene in the middle of the desert? Sure. Can you get me this Jeep that's red, blah, blah, blah. I could get him that. Can you get me 2 horses? I was able to get all this stuff. I could procure. I guess the term is
like that, Ben.
exactly.
I always knew.
The term is a fixer. So I was a fixer. So I could get you anything. I could fix things. And then I could convince the cops to not, give them tickets if they were taking over the street and shit like that. I could talk to cops and all that. And so after a while, he's like, listen, Ben, you have a future in this. You should be a producer. And that really changed my whole thing. I was like, this is the first guy. Think about it. It took a guy from the UK coming to Tucson to shoot a super independent movie in my backyard to validate my dream. Insane. This guy that didn't know anything about me, but what he found out was like, you have the natural skills to be a producer. You make things happen. So I was like, awesome. But then something else happened before I get into like, it was all good, right? Something else happened. He's like, hey, by the way, you're a great PA. Do you mind being an extra for this scene? And at this point, I'm like, I'm not in front of the camera. I'm not an actor. My whole performing thing was done. It's like, no. So he's like, no, come on. I really need a guy that can die. It's like, okay. What do I need to do? Okay, so this is what's going to happen. A drug deal is going to go wrong. You're going to argue over the coke and this and that. And then they're going to shoot you. And then you're going to end up full of blood all over your mouth. And then we're going to put you on a horse. And then they're going to take you away on this horse. I was like, it's like, okay, so I'm not going to be on camera that long. Okay, great. Okay, how long do you think it's going to take? Oh, it's going to be fast. By the way, the thing about producers and directors, they lie. They fucking all the time. So this guy gets me to this scene. We do, I don't know how many takes. I'm not a good actor, okay? By the way, this movie's floating around somewhere, and I don't want it ever to see it because it was so bad, at least my performance. Anyway, so they shoot me on camera, la, la, la. I end up with blood in my mouth. They put me on this horse, and they forget about me. Time goes by. And I'm thinking, did they call cut? Like, I'm supposed to get off this fucking horse, and
no.
They never told me that the scene was done, and I was sitting there. Believe me, to me, it felt like an hour. Maybe it was 45 minutes. But straight up, that felt, one, disrespectful, forgotten, but I knew what my role was. I was disposable. And so that's another thing. Like, I knew what my ranking in the industry was very quickly. Or if you're a PA, if you're an extra, and you happen to be Latino in a place where Latinos technically didn't belong, you're going to be at the bottom of the barrel. You're nothing but a bad guy on screen. That's it. That's your role. And so that taught me a lot. So very quickly, my activism and all this other stuff came together. And that's when I decided, you know what? I'm going to change this shit. I'm going to figure out a way to do this better. And so that leads into the rest of what I started doing for my career in cinema. But that taught me a big lesson. I had the skills. They were validated, but I knew that I had to stand up and do this shit right.
Yeah, that's fucked up. They just left you hanging dead. On the
Wow.
horse.
Yeah, no, I'm just, yeah, wow. Okay.
That's some horse shit.
But it changed everything. Honestly, it gave me more of an impetus instead of
movie is still out there, though. This movie is still out there, though, like where you.
Yeah, you don't want to see this movie.
No, I don't. Now, based on the fact of like what you broke it down to is like.
Here's the thing: the movie got made. It made money, even though it was low quality and everything. I mean, respect. By the way, I'm still friends with this director, but that wasn't really his fault. It was the producer that took off with the money that screwed the entire production. But I helped. I know I helped to rescue this movie. But then I understood what my role it was, right, in the movie, to be the bad guy, to be the guy, But again, so it was. This is why it's weird about the industry. I don't know if it relates to hip hop and music and other ways, because you want to be so bad part of this industry, but then you're gonna get chewed up. You're gonna get eaten alive and then spit out. So your role is like, you fight it. Do you resist being spit out, or do you go with it, or you allow motherfuckers to use you, kind of like what's happening with the music industry. But at the end of the day, the film industry is now, the reckoning is coming from a million other forces, economic forces, technological forces. It's coming. But I'm still in the good fight. I'm still in it, guys. Like, even though, we'll talk more about the other things and projects, but that really led me. It gave me the force and the impetus to go forward in this shit. So I didn't give up.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Yeah. No, it's
for y'all coming up. Don't give up on your dream.
Don't give up.
Yeah. I mean,
how's it going out there with the crowd?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if that's allowed to say, like, okay, I mean, of course you got stuff in the works. You got a couple things that are ready to come out. I did explain, like, when we had Tarak on. A lot of it is in Spanish. And some of it you can't find translated into English yet. I'm sure, like, yeah. So, like,
I can go into that if you want. Do you want me to go into that?
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah.
The
Yeah,
Independence?
cool.
Okay, so I don't know how many of the audience has read this book, Rebel Without a Crew. It's about Robert Rodriguez, the guy who did Spy Kids, the guy who did From Dusk Till Dawn with Tarantino. He also did El Mariachi and all these movies, right? Independence, Shoot 'Em Up. So his thesis and this whole thing, what he was basically saying is, like, I think I can make a $7,000 movie, El Mariachi, with basically not a lot of crazy effects and whatever, just a good action movie, and I could do it for under $10,000. So he wrote a whole book about his experience. So for someone like me coming up in the business, reading that book, on top of all the other experiences I had on independent sets and producing a lot of independent shorts, I decided, this is the way. This is the way to fucking do it. This like, balls out, let's go. Like, nobody, like nothing will deter your dream. You got to be able to do it. Obviously, I was a little naive about many different things, including the legal aspect of it, the economic aspect of it, and the impact it could have in you as an artist. If you keep doing that too long, you might not be able to feed your family. And then the effect of it is that it makes it so difficult for you to establish a viable career, per se. So anyway, so I followed that model, and I was like, maybe I could do something with this friend of mine. And there was this guy who was from the Central Democratic Republic of Congo. He had an amazing look, this dreadlocks. And I had this sequence of a guy that was kind of like Jamaican looking, or maybe, like a badass assassin that was just mowing people down in the hallway, all these other assassins. And I was like, I would love to make that. What if this guy was like an assassin for the church, the Catholic Church? He's removing obstacles and shit. And the guy, and by the way, my friend, he was a poli-sci major, and he spoke with a French accent, and he's like, I'll be in it, but I don't know if my voice is the voice of an action star. It's like, don't worry about it, man. We'll figure it out. And we'll figure it out in post. I was so naive. I was like, let's go and shoot this thing. So we actually just shot sequences, not enough to finish a short, but I took this little trailer back in the day. I was very lucky because they gave me, I volunteered for a bunch of places, including the Telluride Film Festival, which is one of the most amazing festivals in the world that nobody knows about, which is fine, but more people need to, be part of that stuff. And the second thing I volunteered for was this organization called the National Association of Latino Independent Producers. So those things gave me connections. So by the time I had this little iPad that was given to me as a gift at Telluride, not an iPad, the iPod, the video one. Remember the first one that had a little tiny screen? They gave me that as a gift. So I loaded my trailer into that. It was not even a completed film with music, like some hip hop music and other stuff that I had. So I loaded this trailer. It was in black and white. I showed it to this distributor in LA during a conference. And this person was like, hey, do you think you can make another movie? Like, no, you think you can make a full movie like this for under 10K? What does that sound like to you guys? Like the book that I just read. I'm like, fuck, that's like, Robert, I could do this shit. Like, I could actually make a movie for under 10K. Why not? Let's go. And so they're like, oh, well, we'll send you the paperwork, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I didn't even finish this thing. And I was able to pitch it. And it's too good to be true. By the way, later on, I found out it was too good to be true, you know. But I made a movie for under 10K. And because of that, they offer me, and this is where maybe the record business is similar in some ways. They loved that movie. They put it on satellite, and they gave me a multi-picture deal. So that was the beginning of it. Boom, let's go. We're in it, but not really in it. I'm in the off, like very far offshoot part of the business that is direct to DVD, direct to satellite. But I'm still doing it, right? It's still like I was able to at least tell my wife, hey, somebody is watching my stuff. Somebody wants my stuff. We're still not making any money. I still can't feed my family. I can still pay for this house, but at least I'm doing what I love and somebody's watching it. So that basically gave me another, you know how you're going up and meeting the bosses in a video game or in a movie. I slayed the second monster. I was like, okay, fine. I got to this level. I leveled up. I'm not at the highest level, but at least at this level, I'm doing okay. So I made more movies that were in Spanish language. It got validated, all my ability to make these movies. And they were like, can you keep going? I couldn't, because I couldn't pay my bills. Imagine, I had my movies that people are watching, and then yet at home, I couldn't deliver for my family. And that's what really made me change the things. Like, that's where I transitioned my career to help other filmmakers figure out how to make their own movies and do it in a smart way. The number one thing that I was missing was an attorney. I never got an entertainment attorney, and that destroyed my entire career in the beginning. And so imagine licking my wounds and figuring this shit out. Now I have to go back and redouble my efforts to reinvent my entire career, but this time hopefully it's smarter. You know, I got my ass beat. Even though I made at least 4 more movies, I realized that I wasn't going to be able to do that forever. So there you go.
Yeah, man, that's no, that's why I want to make sure, you know, like to clarify, you know, like, you know, and then do you have a lot of them being translated too as well? Like that's what we're going to say, like in the future.
So what happened when you sign deals like this, and it happens in the music business too, and you don't own your masters, or you don't own your copyright, you don't own your IP, your intellectual property. They didn't belong to me. That was the fine print that I was not aware of. And by the time I realized, it was too late. I couldn't reverse that contract. And so by the way, because I don't want to start no drama with these people, we reached an amicable, conclusion. We figured it out. I got out of the contract, and I was able to reclaim my life as a creative. That's one of the reasons why I use, like, Blatonio, no pants. I use different names under different pen names, right? Because now I'm able to reclaim this new part of me, right? Because I left that Spanish language movies behind, or at least that version of it that was like very run and gun, super like, let's go. And, so I got the immediate feedback. The benefit is, like, I proved that I could make movies. I proved that I could direct actors. I proved that I could do miracles with zero money, right? But also I proved that I needed to level up. So it kind of like was very, very helpful. And then one of the things that I think you can gather from, like, the way that, I go through this stuff, I became really good at helping other artists figure out how not to get, in trouble legally like me. And so even though I was not an attorney, I was able to kind of consult or coach other filmmakers. So, like, don't go there, Mike, don't do this shit. Be careful. Don't sign that deal. Like, always go, do a deal memo, and, always have a legal person look at your shit before you sign away your life, and so on and so on. So there was a period of time that, instead of focusing on creating the movies by myself, I decided to just go work. Actually, I did 2 things. 6 months of the year, I would be like a gypsy, kind of like on the road, producer, line producer, shooter, editor, you name it. I was a gun for hire. I would go to places like Tokyo or Brazil, and they could hire me in any of those capacities. Boom, I'm your guy. You want a music video? I'll shoot it. You want a quinceañera video? I'll shoot it. You want a wedding video? I'll do it. I was the guy, right? That's how I pay my bills. And the other half of the year, they will call me to LA, this nonprofit, and was like, hey, can you help us run labs and workshops so we can help specifically Latino filmmakers on how to make their shit better? Can you do that with us? And I said, sure, but just so you know, if I make one commercial, that's the equivalent of 6 months at this nonprofit. And they're like, yeah, but here's the good part. You'll eventually get to move your family to LA. And 2, you will have freedom to do whatever you want with a lot of these programs and running the way that you want to run them. So that changed my life. So that was like, I ended up spending over 15 years in that regard, splitting my time, and eventually led me to moving full-time to LA. And that's where I started getting more and more connected with people, studios, networks. I started getting the trust of the people in front of the cameras, behind the cameras, above the line, below the line. Above the line means the people that get paid the most money, right? Which is the actors, directors, and all that. Below the line is the craftspeople, the people that work like carpenters, drivers, all that. So I got to know all those people in front of the camera, behind the camera, above the line, below the line. And after getting to know that, I was like, how can I be the best ally to help other people? So remember, now that you have my background, anybody that was struggling with their dream, I felt that I could be that padrino, rabbi, godfather. How can I help you realize your dream so you don't give up on that dream? Because I was obsessed with me almost giving up mine. And so that became my journey. And so I took that very serious. And after a long time, I got the respect of a lot of amazing people. I got to meet some of my heroes, from Francis Ford Coppola to Werner Herzog to Rob. I got to collaborate with Robert Rodriguez, like the guy who I read his book and watched his movies. And I got to visit his studios, and I got to like start putting deals together. Like, it's just amazing stuff that I got to do behind the scenes. Where I got more validation from was when the studios themselves started calling me, and they started asking me, hey, you seem to be pretty good at this stuff of giving advice. Do you think you could give us some advice about the way we make movies for Latino audiences? Do you think you could do that? What do you think I said, guy?
Oh man, like I wouldn't have, if somebody would have asked me just on the street, I would have, yeah.
So that's why I became their guy. So then they started calling me, and so I helped out on movies, TV shows, things like the most notable one that I can talk about, because I signed NDAs, a non-disclosure agreement, on many of them. But I can talk about Encanto, which I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but it's basically an animation movie by Walt Disney. It won the Oscar, and essentially an animated musical. It's an amazing experience. I worked on that for a long time. And I got a chance to give them advice on everything, from the animation to the music to the characters to the voices, everything. And even while it was being released, I got a chance to give them a lot of feedback. And just like them, they were very thankful. They kept recommending me to other studios to give them advice on all kinds of stuff. So that it just opened up the world for me. And so after a while, I was able to finally retire. Well, not retire. Move on from the nonprofit aspect. I decided, you know what's the itch that I never got to scratch? I need to get back to making my movies. So this is where it takes us into, now I'm back to producing. So the consulting pays the bills, but the producing, that's my jam. That's my thing. That's what I was brought to earth to do.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. No, that's real talk, man.
Welcome back. No, I know you've been with us. You just had the cam off, though. No, Ben Lopez sharing game. I'm definitely like good, like Christopher George said in there. Things happen for a reason. Good lesson. Like, I mean, it's a if the youngins will listen and pay attention, you know what I'm saying? That's what our job as OGs, I feel, is like what you're doing, and I salute you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
You got any questions? What's going on? Are you good?
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Like, was there anything else you wanted to like go into a little bit too? Is like, like that's good. You back into it. I like.
Well, the thing now is that I've didn't cover my family. My son. That's the thing about this business.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do that.
Many times we're like the pioneers in our families to be the first one to do the podcast. We're the first ones doing being the artist or the lyricist or this. When you're the first one in your family, you're kind of like you can watch a video, you can go on YouTube, you can watch all this like tutorials and shit, but nothing beats having hookups, family members, godfathers, rabbis, like people that are hooking you up with stuff. You need people like that. And so not having access to a mentor can destroy a career. And so one of the things that I realized is that how many people were successful in this business, the reason why they're successful is because they had that direct link to someone in the business that opened up the context and the gates for them. And so because of that, I did that for 20 years. I opened the doors for so many filmmakers. Like, I'll give you one example. Have you guys seen Alien Romulus, that movie? Or did you guys see, the latest Alien movies? We helped out that filmmaker. Obviously he's super talented already, right? Fede Alvarez and his producer Rodo, right? We were one of the first ones to put him on the scene because we wanted to make sure we platform and we give them awards because they needed to be recognized. There's also Angel Manuel Soto, the guy who directed Blue Beetle. He also did Charm City Kings, right? That guy, we screened his movie back in the day in 2015 in Los Angeles. We were the first ones to showcase that talent, that Puerto Rican talent in Los Angeles. And just like them, countless of filmmakers that we were the first ones to platform them. Now that you have that level of connections and you've been helping other people out, things get a little bit easier. It's not 100% easy. Like right away, you're going to be able to make a movie because it's expensive. If people want to know some of those details, I can answer those questions. But this is where it came in handy. My son, no surprise, right? I only have one son. He decided to get into drumming. No surprise. Jazz drumming. And then he got into comedy. Then he started doing improv comedy, kind of like the people that do SNL, Saturday Night Live. So he started like in the teen troops. I thought he was going to be a comedian. I thought he was going to do that. But then he's like, nah, Dad, I like more writing. I'm like, okay, I'm more into sketch comedy. So I was like, all right, cool. I mean, he is funny. By the way, the first time I found out he wanted to be a comedian, he invited me to this open mic in South LA. I go with him, and guess who he decides to make fun of? Me. I'm his whole material. He destroys me. He makes me laugh, but he destroys me with his comedy, and the whole time I'm the subject. I'm like, oh, great, I get to be that guy. So he destroys me in front of all this. Like, it was mostly a Black and Latino audience, and I was like, all right, well, I'm glad that I give you material to be a better comedian or whatever, right? So later on, he told me, you know what, Dad, I enjoy the writing more, and I think I'm gonna take a leap year, and I want to go to film school. I was like, shit, film school, like. It's because I didn't realize that he grew up on my film sets. You know all those independent movies that I did? He was a little kid holding up the boom mic sometimes. He was the kid getting me he was my PA. And my wife was doing the cooking and doing all this stuff because I did it independently, right? So no surprise, he wants to be a filmmaker. I'm like, he wants to be a writer, a screenwriter. So I was like, well, this career is kind of hard. You want to do this shit? Like, are you sure you want to do this? He's like, yeah. My first choice is AFI, my second choice is NYU, or my third choice is UCLA. And I'm like, you're picking the equivalent of going to Harvard, Yale, and like all top Ivy League schools in the film school side of things. Like, you're picking, and not that I want to discourage him, because remember, by this point, I never want to discourage anybody, but this is my own son asking me like, hey, I want to do this. And I was like, it's hard to get in. It's harder to get into those schools than medical school. So, and it's expensive. But I was like, okay, how do we help him out? Needless to say, he did it. He was able to get into the school, He did it himself. I mean, we did have some other people that went to that school kind of give him advice, but at the end, he wrote the essay, he did the application, the interviews, he got in. So he just graduated this last December, and now he's been writing a bunch of movies. I'm going to be producing at least 3 of his movies and maybe 2 of his TV shows. And I have my own movies that I want to produce. And I am also incubating, meaning I'm mentoring a bunch of other filmmakers that I want to help out. So that's what I'm doing. That's how I'm keeping busy. I guess my day job is consulting with the studios, but my moonlighting is the producing. So kind of like my Fight Club. That's what I'm doing.
That's what's up, man. No, that's what's dope, man. And I was gonna say, like, speaking of your son, since you brought him up, like, definitely we'd be interested. Like, you want to send him our way if he wants to talk about what he's got going on, man.
We got a headlining comedian coming up soon I think next week. Dick Dickerson from Saginaw, Michigan, but he had headlines. He was down there in Tucson
Oh yeah.
and all that. He's been all over the country doing comedy. So yeah, we try
Yeah.
to mix it up, not just rappers, but we like everybody. You know what I'm saying? With
Well,
anybody
yeah, of course. Like when I was like wanting Ben to come on in the first place, because I was like, you've been doing a lot of different stuff, and I was telling you about the podcast, and it's like an honor having you come on with us,
And hearing you
For
speak,
sure.
it's just like
Yeah.
I can tell the similarities in the music industry and the movie industry. The film industry.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Hey,
So-
now if you had a second mic, I do have to ask you because I just know you well enough, Ben. If he gave you a second mic that night and he's roasted you, I know you would have held your own,
Oh,
right?
he would destroy me. Oh yeah, he would definitely slay me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know you probably be able to hold your own though
How
too.
about
So,
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about him now, like his stuff is
I mean,
definitely
just
a
be glad he
lot of
didn't hand
comedy.
me the mic because
Well, you know what's one of the first movies that we want to do is about Drumline. So it's like he was in Drumline, I was in Drumline, and I don't know if you guys seen that movie, Drumline.
Yeah,
So we
Drumline,
want to do
that's right.
something that takes place here in LA, and hopefully in the Crenshaw area, and it'll be a movie about two musicians that they got to unite instead of compete in order to save the school's music program. So that's what his movie's about, and that's one of the ones that I want to produce with him. So that's what's up. Like it's gonna
that's
combine
cool.
our love
That's
for
gonna be like
everything.
that's gonna be a good little bond right there too. Then
Yeah,
that's cool.
man, it's good. Like just the other day, we're already like I think draft 7 or something, and we're constantly working on that script because there's a lot of comedy, and he has he's a lot of his funny lines in there and everything. And by the way, he grew up with the majority of the people he grew up with were South LA. Like he went to this school called Hamilton High, but the majority of them were from South LA, and so it's black and brown. Black and brown. That was the student body, and the most talented musician were black and brown too. And so that was his experience growing up, and so he identifies more with that community than any other community, even though he's gotten a chance to do it all. So anyway, so that's kind of like the story. Hopefully, it was good for the pocket. I mean, I'm open for questions, whatever you guys want to know, and I know that my angle's a little bit more from this side now, right? But again, I've been there from the civil rights aspect, from the empowerment aspect, and I'm repping for my people still, and I never forget my roots or where I come from. That's one of the reasons why it was good to reconnect with Blatonio on this stuff. Like I'm here, and I'm honored to be on this podcast with you guys. You guys are definitely doing the good work out here.
Yeah, it's an honor having you on here, most definitely.
Honored as well. That's what I was gonna say, man. This like I've been super excited. When I was telling also Gutta and Brother King X, I was like, yeah, this right here. It's like not only just because of us, having a long history right there. It's just like no, for real, like the powerful element of it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying right here.
BKX, how's the acting going with you? I know you're in a series right now. Did you guys wrap that series up? Oh, your mic's not working, BKX. Your mic ain't on.
Oh, was BKX off? Yeah, like the mic might be off. Yeah, let's see. Oh, wait, hold on.
No, it's not showing. Hold on, let me make sure you're turned all the way up. BKX, can you hear it? Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Nah, I don't know what's going on with the mic. He did that to us when we first started. We had to,
so I don't know if it's doing that for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We had to start.
And then you said something about like I guess Ben got like a couple fans in the audience.
Oh yeah, I'd have to scroll up to see some of the chat. Shout out to Christopher Jordan though. Shout out to King Troll. He in the building. Check him out if you haven't. Big Facts in the building. We got Southwest CC in the building. Ben Frank in the building. Alien Gang in the building. Jimmy McFay in the building. We got Rich Martinez in the building. We got Parkhead Boy from Scotland. We international. We got
Shelly Jewel in the building.
Yeah. No, we're international. BKX, I don't know what's going on with the mic. You're saying that hold on, let me see if I hit this.
Wait, did he say? I'm messing with you. I said we got Shelly Jewel in the building.
Ha. You got a fan. You got a fan.
Yeah, you got a fan, man. Yeah, dude. Got to answer
You
to him.
can't deny the
No.
fans.
You know that's gonna be a long joke forever.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a thing. She might send you
Yeah.
a care package soon, eh?
No,
Look out! Look out!
I will send it
No.
right back to you, homie.
Do you have any of your movies appeared on Tubi? Because here in Detroit, we do a lot of. I don't know
Oh,
if you know
yeah,
that, a lot
actually a
of
good
Tubi
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a few. There's a few. So you can look at Sexo en Paraíso. There's a place I can write it or no?
Like,
Yeah, in here.
actually, that's where I was able to find most of them. The only reason why I
Yeah,
think, like, really, like, not everybody knows, like Spanish. Some of them they didn't translate over, but
yeah.
yeah,
They
for
didn't put
anybody.
subtitles. They didn't put subtitles, but it's in other services too. That it's on
Oh,
Tubi for free. You just gotta watch commercials once in a while on that service. But I
okay.
think if you're wondering the connection to high school, Caramelo, which is
Got a minute.
sorry, Caramelo, Caramelo. It's that one. It was based on some experiences that I had in high school back in the day. I mean, we went to high school.
Yeah.
It just so happened that I was inspired by a person that cleaned the school. I think it was my sophomore or junior year. I can't remember exactly. And it left such an impression, that experience with this dude, that I decided to write a whole movie about that. It's basically a thriller where this young man befriends the guy who cleans the school, and he gives him access to all the different rooms. And then later on, he finds that he has a dark past, a dark secret. And so it's loosely based and inspired by that, my interactions with this guy that I found out had a really shady past. And so if you watch the movie, I know it's in Spanish, but it's a thriller. And so I work with a different director for that one. And
I have to
it's
ask
cool.
you because we went to school together, man. Is it the one that reminded me of Stephen King all the time? I always said that was Stephen King.
No, it's actually, it's funny. The guy was funny, man. He was a funny guy. He
Yeah,
was lively. He would
but did
always
he look
open up the
look like
locker.
Stephen King
Like,
though? So I gotta say, did he look like
no, it was
Stephen
a
King? That's
different guy. It was a different guy. Yeah, no, it was a
okay.
different guy. This guy
You
had
know
a
the one I'm
stash.
talking about, though, right? Yeah, you know
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one I'm
yeah.
talking
No,
about.
this guy was different. But this guy, I found out that he had a really shitty past, some of the stuff that he did back in the day. And so I always wonder if he did more than what he told me. And so I decided to take that inspiration, and I made this movie with this sort of director. And then the other one that this is actually funny. I made a movie called La Venganza, the revenge, I guess, or vengeance. And it was my first. It was very rough movie. Don't matter. I'm not making no excuses, right? Because at the end of the day, it was indie. That movie was inspired by a lot of the stories that I heard in my community about. I don't know what every area you call them different things, but over there we call them bajadores or tumbadores, which is the guys that do ripoffs, drug ripoffs, and they break into people's like stash houses. Basically, what type of guy rips off other drug dealers, like almost like the Omar, like what do you do? Like what the fuck? Like what
Yeah,
type of mentality? And this is based on real stuff. A
yeah,
lot of people in Arizona, like Arizona is known for having some of the
yeah.
largest
Oh, big time.
concentration of
Detroit's
drug
got its
stash
own thing.
houses everywhere. And so I read a lot about that. And so I wanted to write about a character that was maybe poor, kind of like a Scarface type of character that wanted to come up that way. Because it's like, I'm not going to take the time to drug deal or rip off or whatever. I'm just going to rip them off. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to
Yeah.
do all this because I'm obsessed with this girl that I want to get. And if I can't have this girl, then I'm going to do all kinds of stuff to her and her family to make sure they pay, they get payback.
Yeah.
And so that's what it's called, La Venganza. And so that was, it was inspired
Yeah.
by a lot of news that I read in Tucson, in South Tucson. And so the other one that I made is called Sexo en Paraíso. And that was based on, because I was interested in corruption, interested in all this dirt that was happening in my backyard. And I read about this program. You guys have seen, obviously, The Wire. You've seen We Own This City, pretty much where you have like really corrupt cops, right?
Yeah.
So there was several squads that were like anti-drug squads. I mean, everybody has like